Hello and welcome back. We are going to be starting a new run here in Victoria 3, and we are going to be playing as Syria, whom you can release from Egypt. I believe if you do this through the Hegemony Objectives menu instead of Sandbox, it does allow you to get the Hegemony achievement, but I'm not sure about this because you're releasing a nation, you're not playing as the original tag. I don't know how the game mechanic works, but the way you release a nation is you go release subject in the diplomacy tab, you're going to click Syria, and we will very importantly check the box play as Syria, otherwise we won't get it. And Syria is an interesting start. I've done a couple runs through this so far. It seems to be a very volatile and high variance start because what the goal for the run is going to be forming Arabia, so we need to declare a lot of wars here. But a lot of great powers jump down our throats. Ottomans wants to reclaim the land of Syria, and so there's kind of a lot of moving parts, but let's get into it. First off, let's talk about the government a little bit. So to start, you can, in theory, re-roll the landowner until you get a guy who is a jingoist. This is the ideal, what you would want most. You can also re-roll for the better guy in terms of who your starting interest group. Innovative is pretty nice for the tech spread, so that's cool. But you will want to maybe consider doing this as far as how we're going to spend our authority in government. We are going to increase and bolster the Intelligentsia, so we will bolster them and we will bolster them. That's the Intelligentsia and the Industrialists. They will help us pass all the laws we want. In terms of the laws we have, serfdom is particularly bad and we want to get rid of it. Once we get rid of serfdom, we can actually clear the way with corn laws to have a pretty, good economy in terms of laws, but we also have closed borders, slave trade, autocracy, racial segregation, monarchy, freedom of conscience instead of fully free, total separation. So we got a lot of bad laws at the start of the game, though notably we do have agrarianism at the start, which is a nice little boon. You will be getting some investment pool contribution. You can use that to build rural stuff, so this is nice, at least at the start. At the very start, what we will do as far as passing laws go is we will whine about not having a jingoist, because a jingoist will allow you to go colonial exploitation, and we will throw someone in government who does support it. And so it looks like we have this situation where usually you throw the armed forces in government, but it looks like we can also throw the devout in government if we wanted to try and do this. The devout, we will stay legitimate, although all of these will get recalculated. The landowners will get a bunch more clout than this 33%. So we're going to throw in the armed forces, and we will have a go at getting colonial exploitation. Now, as far as this run goes, in terms of our economy, we start off with a few buildings. Most of them are rural. We can make a few changes to the PMs at the very start. We will go secular because we are empowering the Intelligentsia, and we can also go market squares because we actually produce glass ourselves. This is one of the few things we produce ourselves, and we want to create demand for glass, and so, okay, this is pretty good for us to do because currently there's not going to be a lot of demand. Notably, we will also be running shortages of a lot of stuff. We can't fix these because when you play as a release nation, you start out having no interests anywhere, including the region you start out in. So what we will do is we will go into the diplomacy tab and we will declare an interest, and we're going to declare it in Anatolia. And this is a big part of, I think the essential part of the strategy is we are going to be attacking the Ottomans a lot. And if we attack them, they can't attack us. Sometimes we might need to back down or something like this, but importantly, we're going to be trying to play nice with Russia and get into their market. If we could ever get both Diyarbakir and Erzurumqum, I don't know how to pronounce these, then we will be able to get into Russia's market a lot easier, or feed Erzurumqum to Russia, alternatively speaking. This is something that would be quite nice. A thing that is the bigger thing, or the bigger concept that is important for understanding why this strategy is good, is because generally speaking, Great Britain often gets rid of this interest, and so does Austria, and it just leaves just the four of you in Anatolia, and no one's going to stick their finger in your pie regarding protecting the Ottomans, when the people who can stick their finger in your pie are Egypt and Russia. And so this allows you an opportunity to expand without getting hassled. If you declare wars in Arabia, you're very likely to get hassled. If you're going to do this in Arabia, you should just save before every war, because you can just brick the entire run by, declaring a war to, let's say, conquer Hale, and then Jabal Shammar gets convinces the Ottomans to come in, and they take a state, and then also France, and France takes a state, and you're just like, oh, my head. So in general, expanding here is going to be nice. We also will be doing save loading before starting wars, because I've done quite a few runs through this so far, and it's just very, very volatile in terms of whenever you declare war, and it's there's really not a lot of transparency in terms of the game mechanics, in terms of who's going to join on what side and how things might look. And so, okay, let's talk about how we're spending the rest of our authority. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the political lens, we're going to go to state actions, and we're going to change the capital to Aleppo. Generally speaking, this is going to cost us some authority at the start. We're going to have this 10% malice. We're also going to have that in bureaucracy, which is going to be uncomfortable because we need to run a lot of trade routes, but I think it's worth it in the long run. The reason why is in Aleppo, there's more unused arable land, so this means we can build higher without running the malice on our migration attraction. If you get overpopulated, and overpopulated is based on the arable land, you will run a malice and people will leave, or it'll be harder to get people to come. We would rather have the capital in Aleppo for this reason, and it's not too painful to do it at the start. And what we will also do is we will lay down 2 decrees. We will do road maintenance, mainly for the construction efficiency in Aleppo, but also gives the infrastructure, so this is nice. But we're going to be building mostly in Aleppo at the start, so just getting 10% juice on our construction efficiency is nice. And then we will also be encouraging manufacturing because we're going to be building manufacturing tall there. With our remaining, we will put in a consumption tax for tobacco. We will crank up taxes all the way to try and, forestall running into debt. Big thing to mention, if you are playing as an unrecognized country or a smaller country, you actually pay quite a bit more on interest. So while deficit spending is really good when you're a great power who's recognized, it is particularly bad when you're an unrecognized, like minor, tiny little power. And it's just, the interest is too much. It's not worth paying the interest, I think, in order to just try and crank the expansion. And we will be going lathe into atmospheric engine, and then we'll kind of probably go something like water tube boiler, or like maybe canneries into mechanized workshops or something. Well, these are the kinds of techs we're looking to get early. We might even go stock exchange relatively early if it doesn't spread to us, and egalitarianism will be another one that's good to go. So as a general heuristic, academia and lathes are probably the 2 most important techs to have at the start. And the big reason why you want lathes is you want to start turning on PMs that are empowering the Industrialists, the Intelligentsia, and the Industrialists. And doing this will often require it requires that you go lathes. As far as the construction queue goes, what we will do is we will first build 1 construction center, and then we will build 1 logging camp here. We'll build 2 logging camps here, and then we will build a tooling workshop. And the idea, it was with the logging camps, we will want to go sawmills. And then the tooling workshops, we will want to go pig iron tools. So after that, what we will be building is we will be building some iron mines, and then we will look to switch to iron frame buildings. And all of these in a row will kind of massage our way into, using industrial stuff. Because if we take a look here, pig iron tools will swap us from merchant guilds to privately owned. The sawmills, which you need tools in order to turn on, will swap us to privately owned. And so it's just all about swapping to privately owned, and then also increasing construction. This is the plan for the start. Once we get an interest up here in Diyarbakir, what we will do is we will save, and then we will start a play. Sorry, an interest in Anatolia. We will save, and then we will start a play. And so this is kind of the name of the game. Important to remember, you do have access to corn laws. You can go corn laws. We want to revoke serfdom and then go corn laws. Corn laws will give us a... it will turn the ideology of our landover into a market liberal, which will allow us to pass specifically laissez-faire and free trade very, very easily, which is going to be good for us. Industrial barriers... we're not going to take that throughput penalty, so we'll just do that, and we'll be off and away. We get an airborne. Let's take a look at him. This boyo. He's a landowner, so probably not too keen on him. He's a landowner slaver. That little kid, already a slaver. What a bad seed. But it looks like we have our Arabia interest activated, so do we have an interest in here already? So let's take a look. We do have the interest here. So, we will take a save. And then we will declare a play for Diyarbakir, or whatever it's called. And notably, let's take a quick look actually who has an interest in the region. If we declare for this state here, this Deir as Azor, then all these people can join against us. If we declare for a state here, then only these 4 can join against us. Egypt and Russia both generally hate the Ottomans, so we will be declaring for that. But first, let's actually just take a quick look at the diplomatic situation before I forget. So we will want to improve relations with Russia and probably also with Great Britain, but also with France. So we'll rival these guys down here to give us some of this action. Okay. Now let's take a look at their attitudes towards us. Disinterested, disinterested, protective. Protective is nice. You can ask to become a protectorate immediately. We are going to try and get into their customs union. This is going to be a little bit better than just becoming a protectorate straight up. But what I think we will do is normally we can offer you can offer a Zernum. Here, let's just get into the war and we'll talk about it. So we're going to take it and they're going to want to return stuff, and we are going to sway just Russia, because we don't need to sway Egypt as well. And we will also recruit some generals here in a sec, or here, right now. I don't think we want to empower those guys, so we're going to go with a couple of those guys, just from that military. And we can now convince Russia, we can offer them conquer state, we can offer them a humiliation, and we can offer them an obligation. Ottomans are going to back down, but I think we want to give Russia an obligation for free unless Great Britain looks like they like us, which they're wary of us, so they don't, and they're cautious. So what we will do, notably, you can re-roll for Great Britain having a good attitude towards you, because Great Britain has the Falkland Islands. That is the Falkland Islands. Yeah, that's the Falkland Islands. And generally speaking, expanding in La Plata is something you can do without too much interference, except for if Great Britain doesn't like you, they'll interfere and they'll stick their finger in your pie. So there's that. So the Falkland Islands. All right, so we'll offer them an obligation, which makes them more likely to pull them into pull us into their customs union, which we want anyways. What you can do also is offer a Zernum, and this would be better if the war actually goes through, but to my experience so far, this war never goes through. They always back down, in which case the obligation will stay with Russia, whereas otherwise only the primary war goal, which is conquering this province, will go through. So we will do this, we will offer them an obligation. Now, in case the war does go through, we will also add Liberate Iraq, and war reps from the Ottomans. I believe this adds up to exactsies in terms of the amount of maneuvers we have. But just to be extra double sure, extra double triple sure, we will wait until Russia joins our side, which they do. They side with us, and we have the 10 maneuvers remaining for the Ottoman war reps. So off and away. Now, this war is very unlikely to go through. But in case it does, we will mobilize one of our guys and just put him on the front. Again, would actually love for this war to go through, but it is minus 75. At the very start of the game, the Ottomans start off real weak, and so they are very unlikely to do anything, you know, or it's easy to just push them around quite a bit. This is also the case with Great Shink. Now, we see here that we're floating a bit of extra authority, and you notice this 9% is going to slowly decay, so we'll slowly get back some authority. And oops, let's take a pause, because we actually have to import a bunch of stuff. I forgot about this for just a moment. Now that we have interests everywhere, we can import, and we need to import a lot of stuff. We're going to import as much from Russia as possible. We're going to import the military goods from Egypt, or actually, let's import them from Russia. We're going to run out of convoys real quick, though. Right quick. So what we will do is we will import these from Russia, and then we will turn on, we start off with one port here in Aleppo, which is now our capital, as it were, and we will turn on the cargo port, which is going to cost a hot little bit of cash, and then we will also import these from the Russians and just trying to encourage them to allow us into their market. Now, we are running a bureaucratic deficit soon. If we get into their market, a lot of our bureaucratic woes will be solved. I guess maybe the one time, okay, I was going to say maybe the one time it goes through. We do owe an obligation now to Russia, though. You can see that at the very bottom. We have the obligation owed to Russia, so they are very likely to try and pull us into the customs union, which we would love. This would be fantastic. Let's put in another consumption tax or swap to services. I think we're swapping to services. How much is this paying? This is paying 1k. Well, then we're gonna tax liquor, which is not too productive, but it is what it is. And now we will actually wind down a bit of the military. And there's this interesting tension where you kind of... Well, first of all, we can declare an interest now down here. But you kind of want to keep the military, you kind of want to delete the military. You want to keep the military for, like, somewhat obvious reasons. But you want to delete the military because we will actually delete the military in Diyarbakir, I think. And we will delete the military in one more state. Let's say Palestine, because they often ask for Palestine. In case we have to give it away, we're going to delete the military there. And we will keep the rest of these. We will wind these down. And the tension is you want to stay as a unrecognized regional power. You want to stay as the regional power part so that you have another interest and you can declare another interest in this sort of thing. Or you want to be able to ramp up the military so that you are a regional power. I think we're going to ramp the military down so we can do construction. But as soon as you ramp the military down, you'll just go to unrecognized power, which unfortunately means you can't declare an interest, so we can't even colonize once we get colonial exploitation. But we kind of just want to get it and then float it for when we increase the military back up. But if we decrease the military, we're going to pay so much less on wages and so much less for mill goods that we can actually construct a lot more, which means we can expand the economy more. Construction is basically how fast your economy it goes. And this is a really small number, and we really want to increase it. So we're going to actually wind all this back, but keep the barracks because we will want to wind it back up, especially when our truce with the Ottomans is expiring. Now, are we running the penalty already? Alright, we're already running the penalty. It's whatever. I was going to say we probably want to go after Jabal Shamar. We are going to take a save. So in general, you'd want to do this in the other order. You would want to go after this place first. And we're going to go conquer Hale. We believe the Ottomans will side with the enemy. If they side, we'll just load and not take this war. If they... Well, they're probably going to side. If they side and we can't get a better war, we will just bird. And if not, we won't. I guess we will... We will re-increase this in case it needs a tick in order to get the malice, but I think that we just are running the malice now. And hopefully they don't join. If they do join, hopefully we can pull in Russia, something like this. It looks like Russia is willing to join, but here's the finger in the pie thing that I was talking about earlier. Like, if Great Britain or France joins, like, even with Russia's help, we probably can't do this war. We're just conquering the state, I think, right? Or did we... Yeah, we're just conquering it because we are going to decay out of being a regional power. Once you decay from being a regional power to just an unrecognized power, you cannot vassalize another unrecognized power. Oh, they just back down. Cool. So we don't even have to have a little bit of a war. And so now we will wind down all the PMs to nothing. And we will be making money because, again, do not run a deficit. Great Britain sides with them for a second, but they back down too fast. Hiya. And so now you see here we are going to decay from being a regional power to a minor power. Or sorry, just unrecognized power. And we are going to want to try and get into Russia's market. We're doing a decent volume of trade with them. We want to get a trade agreement. It's tough. It might be the case that just going protectorate is the more straightforward and easy way, but I'm trying to do it a little bit more optimized. Also, once we get this passed through, we'll take the armed forces out of government so we can be more legitimate. Also notice they gained 20% clout after the game was allowed to tick for a second. It will be a little while until they get out of power because we do have quite a bit of rural stuff that is contributing to their power. You know, it's a little bit different when you have like zero rural stuff, but we really have to ramp up all of... We need the construction to build the manufactories, to empower the Intelligentsia and the Industrialists and this sort of thing. Once we finish... can barely employ. Once we finish... Once we finish this tooling workshop, we will swap this over to sawmills, and we will swap all the rural stuff over to using that stuff. Let's see what we're running. Okay, let's stop this trade route, and then have another look-see. I think we have a bunch of routes with Russia, which is good. If We might have made the routes to Great Britain if Great Britain had a better attitude towards us, but they don't. They're just wary, which is fine with us. We do not want to declare wars. We're pretty content to let our infamy decay until it is time, maybe 6 months out from having this truce over with Ottomans. We will probably re-ramp our military back up, turn all the PMs back up, and then look to take another fight and take Erzurumum, maybe. And the reason for this is if we declare war on them, they can't declare war on us. If they declare war on us, the strategic region that will be activated, insofar as pulling people in, will be Arabia. If we declare war on them, it will be Anatolia. And so it is critical that we be on the offensive, because if we do Arabia, and either Great Britain or France joins against us, we will get clapped. And so this is the way it is. That's just the way it is. Alright, we will look to expand construction a little bit here. I think that the investment pool will pay for the construction center. So I think we can do this right now. Or let's finish this. And then do the construction center. And that'll be pretty good. We can also incorporate a little bit, although I don't want to incorporate a lot of it because... Let's delete this barracks. I guess I want to incorporate this state more. I'm going to see how much expensive our institutions are before I do this. So we will be over. So we'll concede to some of their points. We are losing our power status, but this is fine. Expensive government goods, you're telling me. Input goods shortages, you're also telling me. All hands are needed for the future, of course. We will be increasing construction here with that extra construction center. It's not a whole lot of extra construction, but it is a bit. And we will be keeping an eye on if we can get a trade agreement with them or if we can get customs union with them. A big negative modifier is this -20 for not being adjacent, which is why we're so uppity about trying to get Erzurumum into one of the two of ours hands in order to facilitate this. Because we would love to be in Russia's market and have them, you know, kind of be protective of us a little bit. We will go atmospheric engine, because we have to do the mining ourselves for some of this stuff, and this will allow us to activate the mines in such a way. It'll allow us to turn on atmospheric engine pump, which is a big part of... So, for almost all the laws we want to pass here, either the Industrialists or the Intelligentsia will allow us to pass it. When you look at a building that has capitalists, which we don't have any of those yet, the capitalists will primarily be Intelligentsia and Industrialists, and so you, at the start of the game, when you're trying to get rid of the landowners, you're really just trying to get all the laws, or sorry, all the text needed to swap off of anything that is landowner based, or that is, sorry, that is merchant guild based. And so, to that end, we are trying to... You know, we're trying to get sawmills turned on, which is why we're building the tools. And then the tools, we need to go to pig iron tools in order to get them off of, you know, the merchant guilds. And so in order to do that, we need to build iron mines. In order to get the iron mines off of merchant guilds, we need the atmospheric engine pump, which is why we're going atmospheric engine pump first, because it just, our entire pathway through what we're trying to do is involved. It's all going to be good for that. And then we will focus manufacturing in the capital. I think we can take a speed tick up because there's currently not going to be a lot going on. We are going to take a look at when the truce is ending with the Ottomans, because we want to be ramping up the military before this truce is over. So in 41, in May of 41, so as soon as it's 1941, we probably want to swap over. I don't think we want the Emir to intervene. If it, yeah, so this, if the Emir intervenes, it'll radicalize the rural folks, so we're going to advise the Emir against it. We're just going to take a little bit of a slower progression towards this. All these guys are neutral. If Austria had an interest in one of these regions, we would declare enough rivals to, well, we could probably just declare the rivalries anyways. The rivalries are actually kind of good for us in that they make our infamy decay faster, and they allow us to improve relations with more people. Like, we could improve with Egypt and Persia, which is, like, just kind of free for us. And we get crooked connections. That's unfortunate. I think we'll just take the enactment time malice. Undeserved blame. You're telling me. I think we can take that authority hit, so we will. Especially because we're recovering authority right now. And so now that our tooling workshop is finished, in order to make the tooling workshop actually profitable, we swapped to sawmills, and this will now be capitalist owned. And so the capitalists will be primarily industrialists and intelligentsia. This still needs time to readjust, but they will use the tools, which will cause the tooling workshop to actually employ some stuff. These will also use tools, which will allow us to switch to pig iron tools as well. And so we will kind of be off to the races in terms of empowering the Intelligustria. Right? The Intelligentsia and the Industrialists. Which is what we need to do in order to pass a lot of the stuff. So we want decreases pass chance. We'll just keep going on this. Landed voting is something that we are interested in trying to pass, especially if we have a movement for it, because it means we can just keep, you know, just the landowners in government while we're passing it, which will develop a lot of loyalists for us, so this will be nice. We do have a kind of low standard of living. A lot of this is because our tax is increased to max. We're not too worried about it right now, but this is something to be aware of. We can't increase taxes anymore. We could improve relations with someone else. I don't think there's anyone we want to. We will just take a faster decay on our infamy, which we're almost reputable. Now we could swap over all of the things to atmospheric engine pump, except we can't. At least not yet. I think I might go... No, probably gonna go this. Actually, let's go water tube boiler. And we are getting that up to level 3. And then once we have that at level 3, we will turn on the... Or actually, we're going to do a coal mine next, so we can swap to atmospheric engine pump because it uses coal. Which will also give us a ton more iron. After we finish a few more iron mines, we can swap to iron frame buildings, which is going to be very nice. Stock exchange and that spreading it to us is also nice, so now we can enact free trade when it comes time to do corn laws, which is not yet, but it will be soon. Don't know why we're running this so negative, but I think we will just, instead of running that -50, we're going to remove that consumption tax. Things are coming along quite nicely. In about a year, or when this year finishes, or sorry, we will need to wind up the military in just a sec here, not too long. So we do want to be running a decent reserve when we do that. If we get another bad tick for colonial exploitation, we'll come on off of it and just go for landed voting, I think. So we're going to come off of it. What we will do is reform the government, take them out, which will make us righteous, which will develop, we will get a ton of loyalists. And at the same time, I think we go for landed voting because no one opposes it. It's really easy to get through. Now's a good time. It will disempower the landowners. We probably won't, or the liberals won't win the first election, but they might win the second. We'll see how that shakes out. And once this coal mine finishes, we will swap over PMs to the atmospheric engine pump. We could actually swap this one over now, and you see it is now going to be privately owned, which is big happy for us. And then we will swap over the iron mines. It is important to build an iron mine up to level 3 to get the atmospheric engine pump event, which will give us faster on... It will give us... So what the event will do, the atmospheric engine pump event will give us research on water tube boiler, or if you already have mechanical tools, it can also give you the option for railroads. And so this will allow us to get a faster water tube boiler, which we are going to turn on as early as possible, which is going to allow us to... Oop, we got some events up here. Oh, it's not just a 50-50. So we have the moderate versus the traditionalist. We'll let them fight. Sins of the past, you're telling me. Power corrupts. I'm more than happy to have him lose popularity to pass this through. I'd be happy for him to lose popularity for free. We are going to... Ooh, maybe we want to swap this off to simple fishing for now. And we'll expand this a little bit. And then we will be kind of off and away doing some of this stuff. So we get landed voting. We get political parties. Oh, it's just the Conservative Party? That's not ideal. We definitely wanted a Conservative Party and a Liberal Party, but these guys will crush on the election. And do very, very well. Unfortunately, being less popular does mean we lose authority. So actually, maybe we should have thought of that a little bit more. Now, let's see. 41 is when our truce is up, right? 24 May. So as soon as it hits 1941, we do want to swap our PMs over and get ready for battle. With the understanding that we might even have to expand the military, but... I don't think currently building enough, I don't think, yeah, I currently don't have enough iron to really support, well, maybe I can support this iron frame building, because these aren't fully employed yet. I think I can. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap over to iron frame buildings here, which will use more tools, more iron, less fabric, less wood. I don't think I'll run shortage here. I think this will kind of where we want to be. Bahrain is damaging relations, you don't say. I'm fine with them losing momentum. I think they are the only party, so they're winning either way. Now we're barely losing money, which is a nice place to be. The Conservatives win, you don't say. But now we have a fully righteous government. We could actually even put the armed forces in government and probably stay super righteous, which we will want to do, maybe. We do have to put the devout in with them. But I think this is fine. And we will now be able to swap over some stuff that we wanted. A ton more bureaucracy. What's that from? Weird. Not sure exactly what's driving that. So going National Guard is not unreasonable for the conscription rates. But we do want to get colonial exploitation, so we'll be first on this. We are approaching 41, so we will want to do that. We want to pull off of this for now, because we only need, we will be able to finish, oh, damn. It's already at 1.7k remaining. So we researched a little bit too much, but this is fine. We'll go with empiricism. Once this fully employs, we will get the event. I don't think I care about the petite bourgeoisie getting more powerful or being mad, so. Dye Works accident, best event ever. We'll all die sooner or later, and then they should have not died in vain. We do want to empower them generally. Alright, Bill's gotta pass, bro. Still making money when we kind of don't want to be. What are we running a shortage of here? Tools? Interesting. Well, it's a good thing we're building a tooling workshop. We do have it on auto expand, or we're liars, sorry. We can switch to pig iron tools. Let's do that. Which will solve the tools. Hopefully these employ too. Where's our event? Oh, more than 75% of eligible buildings have to be like that? Okay. Actually, we actually don't want the event to fire because, here, I'll explain it in a second. We'll just take care of this. We'll just take the minus chance. So, the event I'm talking about is the atmospheric engine event. We will pin it. What this will do is it will give us ahead of time extra research on water tube boilers if we want it. But the problem is it gives 2.5k, and at this point we have way more than, or way less than 2.5k remaining on water tube boiler. And so we actually want to wait until we have mechanical tools to proc the event, in which case we will get the research on railways. So we're going to finish water tube boiler ourselves. We're going to expand a coal mine over there. And then we will... Ooh, actually this event might finish either way. I think the event's going to finish either way once we increase our iron mines. So we're just going to eat an inefficient, like, bonus, I guess. And we'll just do this one, I guess, or something. Or we just need to expand this a little bit. And we'll pop off the event. Can I even add more? Oops. We missed something. As soon as the year changed, we were supposed to swap these up. Let's do it now. Which, of course, now we're going to have to import that stuff. Let's import it from the Russians. And let's import the small arms from the Russians. Can't import very efficiently from the Egyptians. Now we are losing money, but this is fine. So, our truce is up with them, so we will take a save right now before they start a play against us. And then we will wait a little bit for our PMs to wind up, but we are taking the save just in case they start a play against us, but we're going to take a play, we're going to make a play for Azernum, I think. We're fully reputable. And they are cordial with us now here. And so once we get adjacent to them, we will get plus 20 to joining. So let's take a look here if we can conquer Azernum so we get adjacent to them. The problem with conquering Azernum is it kicks us into this. You know? We are going to eat just a ton of infamy and it kicks us into an infinite... Let's just see if we can get, we can get the sway. Alright, perfect. And also, we are going to get a truce with the Ottomans no matter what, so they cannot declare war on us in the Arabia strategic region, where we could get France or Great Britain coming to clap us. We will also add liberate Iraq and such. What can we offer? We can offer a humiliation. We humiliate the Ottomans. And then we will add 2 more things in liberating Iraq and war reparations. Perfect. We will split our guys on the fronts. Not that we think this war pops off anyways. And by the time, our guys will almost be done running the malice by the time the war pops off, if the war does. The malice, of course, for swapping PMs. And, we get colonial exploitation, and we finish that. Okay, perfect. Now I think we can go... We already have landed voting. So we could go charity hospitals. Would not be terrible. It would actually kind of suck. I mean, we could go censorship if we wanted. The thing is we actually want to go guaranteed liberties, and we need to stay on rights of assembly until we do that. Despite us having this hyper-conservative government, we are benefiting from the legitimacy, but really trying to get the Industrialists up and running here. So I guess we will not be doing any kind of law passing here. Instead, we will be, you know, enjoying our loyalists while we are trying to increase the clout of the Industrialists. The war pops off. Pretty happy to see this, actually. But I'm going to now, let's go into military, activate all the conscripts that I can. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit slow going. Russia is expanding there. Credit where credit is due. Credit the Industrialists, obviously. This war's got some close pockets, but it will get less and less close as our PMs wind up or finish winding up. Because if we take a look here, might even want to set you on defend the front, but you're in a battle. If we take a look here, like, we have way better PMs, but we have less defense. And the reason why is because we just swapped the PMs, because we missed kind of the correct date for swapping them, which is bad on us. I think we're going to switch to defending on this front, and maybe promote this guy. Because this front is getting pushed. Oh, Jesus, we get clapped here. Did our front just collapse? What happened? Our general moved and our front just collapsed. Or our front just collapsed and then our general moved. I don't know what happened exactly there. But they're losing pretty quick too, but we have to take the capital back here. So this might be a reload. And a little bit of a wait ski. People support legacy slavery, so let's do it. This is kind of a free pass attempt. Experiencing a lot of pain in this war, so we're probably going to take a load here. And we're gonna, the problem is we didn't swap over the PMs early enough. They take about 6 months, I think, to fully swap over. And so we have to wait a little bit before declaring that war, but we do want to declare that war before they declare on us, because we need the war to be in the Anatolia region. And so I guess we could even increase the military size a little bit here, and this would be fine. And also we have to wait for... Actually, no, we don't want to increase the military. We want to sit on this. This is enough military. We just need to wait for our trade routes to... We need to get our trade routes in, and we need to... probably need more convoys, actually. So this is what we're going to increase, the ports. We're going to finish this iron mine, increase the ports. We're going to wait till maybe November, and then we're going to declare the war, and hopefully we can declare it in that time. And also hope that was weird how they just, in one battle, they took all this land, and I don't know how they do that. Alright. Wow, they're importing coal from us. Interesting. So we're going to go for Azernum, if we can here. We've waited a couple months here. We are going to try and sway Russia again. We'll offer a humiliation. And then we will do the same war goals as before. Liberate country for Iraq. And war rep the Ottomans. Now these guys should be a little bit better equipped. We will spread them out. Again. The woodland guy... We'll actually put the defensive guy here. And have this guy push over here. And maybe promote this guy. So that he gets a larger percentage of the army. Yeah, we are going to promote this guy. Our PMs are winding up. So this should be pretty good. Look at all the... This is the problem, is they can do all of these like war goals on us, which is really rough. I guess we're going to advance because they don't have much of a booty there. And they back down. And now... Interesting they didn't back down before. This is probably because our military was stronger, because we let this ramp up. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go back down, I think. Well, first of all, let's stick that down. But then we're going to have a little bit of a think. Now we could either try and maintain this military. Yeah. And sacrifice construction. I think our construction is still too low, so what we will do is we will be turning off the PMs. Because the person we have to worry about, we now have a truce with. So we will not be declaring any wars down here, because otherwise they would get involved, because they still have an interest in the region. And now we can also build this lead. Let's get that lead. By lead I mean bread. By bread I mean lead. Ayo. Let's go. And now we can try and get in their market a little bit easier. So we see joining customs union, it's a little bit easier, but also we can do trade with them much, much cheaper. How close are we to a trade agreement? Not too close. We're losing our power rank, that's fine. But we can try and export some of this stuff to Russia. And it now takes 0 convoys for us to reach Russia. And so let's actually just take a look at the Russian market and see what's really expensive there and what's really cheap there. They need tools. We can export tools to them. Unfortunately, this UI is not so good. Otherwise, we would just want to... We have to go into here to export the tools. We're going to export tools to Russia, which will be very profitable. It'll go up to level 5. Oh, yeah. Which will increase the volume of trade, which will make it more likely for them to call in the obligation on us in order to do this. And then we will be expanding this even more. Something like this. And we're off and away, and we're just vibing, and we're constructing. Everything's good. We've taken a couple states. Largely, the biggest reason to take these states is so that the Ottomans cannot declare war on us. Because if they declare war on us, the war will be in the Arabia region, and we're going to get clapped by the UK or France or someone. But if we keep just declaring wars here, just taking a little strip of land every 5 years, we can keep the wars elsewhere. All right. Since Russia has such a high demand for tools, I think we go mech tools, and maybe we can do that before the thing finishes. That would the water to the atmospheric engine finishes. So we'll see. We'll switch to leaded glass here. Also, legacy slavery, free for us to go. Yeah, I mean, I wish the slavery system was a lot more transparent how exactly it worked, because it would be easier to tell what's going on, but my understanding is it generally kind of depresses your standard of living, and it depresses consumption, which is not good, although you can export a lot, so you just have more of an export economy or whatever. How much are we getting from tariffs? 880? Interesting. The Prince's will be done. I think that we're fine just taking this slow, because this just, like, is making people happy, and we don't have another thing to do. Damn, that's unfortunate. We don't want them to be belligerent. But them being belligerent makes France more likely to be happy, and France militarily is stronger, at least at this juncture, generally speaking. But yeah, so like the people who are supporting enacting legacy slavery are going to be happy with us in general, and it will. So part of why they are loyal is because we are doing. Oh no, wait, it's not. Oh well. Yeah, we got these people happy with us though. Visiting abolitionist. More than happy to get some approval and attraction for them. But yeah, this start in general is just a little bit rough in terms of just like you get... The Ottomans will want to declare war on you. The war will be in Arabia. If they declare war on you, other people can join. And so just declaring war on them in the Anatolia front, just... I can't believe we got that with the 3%, by the way. But doing that will allow us to, you know, push in. Or to avoid getting declared on. I think that... we are going to want to increase government administration at some point here. Can we make some jobs here? We are making some jobs here. We're making some jobs here. That's cool. France demands that we become a protectorate. Well, I think the answer is no, but I think when we decline, they become domineering. We would love to join your customs union, man. That we would be fine with. I don't think we want to become their protectorate. A little bit unfortunate. Nope, they're not domineering. That's cool. If Russia demanded that, maybe we say yes. Super cool. We are now adjacent to them, though. Yeah, this start definitely feels a lot better than a couple of my other starts, although I'm still obviously save loading kind of scummily. Maybe I can get... So I'm not sure. I haven't got the atmospheric engine pump event. If I can finish mechanized tools before I get it, then I will get the full amount on the railroads in terms of the tech spread bonus. Yes, 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 yes. This is so good for us because once we click yes, look at all that refund. We don't need this government administration anymore. And we can start going for some... We can put in police as a big deal. Also... we're going to be able to join their customs union relatively quickly. Because of that, we're adjacent. We have a bunch of trade. We're doing more and more trade. More than happy for them to generate some radicals and get happier with us, although they're nowhere near being in power. Get dedicated police force. That is a nice one. Do want to open the borders. We want all the liberal reforms. Unfortunately, we don't have a liberal party at this juncture. Really hoping we get one next election. The Industrialists and the Intelligentsia are having a bit of come up though, so I'm thinking that we will be able to push a lot of things through once that happens, but it's currently not yet. We will want to make some steel, though. And we get a liberal party. They're not doing too hot. But they are all these boyos. And the Conservative Party ditches the armed forces. Unfortunate. Let's reform, and actually, we will probably take them out just for being righteous, but not yet, because we have an election coming up anyway. We will have to be sensitive to the next time the Ottomans can declare war on us, because what we will want to do... Hey, we can spare some money for the Liberal Party. Would really love them to win the election. I don't think it's going to be enough, but... Yeah, it's not gonna be. It's just a waste of money. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Oh well. Probably gonna need... I think with Bessemer process, we only need the one for now. But we're gonna stick this on auto expand as well, and then we will need... We'll also want to make some consumer goods. Because we don't have any consumer goods, really. Which is going to kick up the standard of living by quite a lot. Especially the textile mills specifically. Conservative Party crushes, but we get the free reform. We'll take this guy out to make the government more legitimate. Well, kind of doesn't matter, so we'll leave him in for now, I guess. What are our bad trade routes? These ones. Naturally. I think we will just leave them because they cost us no bureaucracy. Actually, no, we're going to wind them down. See what's cheap in their market, actually. Because it doesn't cost us any bureaucracy anymore. So we could import from them maybe fabric and tea/booze. We'll import meat from them, I guess. What people really need is clothes and grain. Oh, grain's expensive. Alright, let's import grain from Russia. I know Russia will have cheap grain. Yeah, buddy. Say hello to the new standard of living here. The duel. Who's it between? This traditionalist landowner, who we'd we'd happy to have either of these guys dead. We get mechanical tools, so now we will go water tube boiler. Yeah, I think we need more of these at level 3 in order to proc the event. So we'll just do that, which should send it to level 3. We switch ceramics? No. I mean, I guess adding them back in is free, so we'll just do this for now. I think we can expand construction. Could also probably institute another consumption tax if we pull one of these, and then on luxury clothes, and it'll pay for itself. Which will help empower the Intelligentsia, because we're now paying the Intelligentsia a little bit more money. Investment pool transfer, we are keen to unlock that. We really need to get rid of serfdom, though. I mean, what happens when we do this? Yeah, no way, no how at the moment. Which could be an argument for against going landed, but I think that, I mean, we're slowly twisting power away from them by construction, mainly. Maybe there was a little bit more efficient way of doing this. I was more concerned with kind of what was going out. And this is the event I was talking about. We get water tube boiler. Let's see if the event lets us. But here we get 2.5k progress on railways. You can also get it on a water tube boiler. We don't need the rails yet, though. So, I don't think. Let's take a look in the capital. How are you doing on infra? You're doing fine. And so we will instead look to society tech. We have all the tier 1s, it looks like, so egalitarianism might be next up here. Pharmaceuticals would also be fine into Quinine. Anticipating our ability to do some stuff. Central Archives, actually, I also don't hate. It's not spreading to us. I think I'm going to go egalitarianism, though. This clothing thing's gonna be so profitable. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go canneries into mechanized workshops. I think that's a little bit better. And we're gonna swap this over to craftsman sewing. I think we have a little bit of silk. Maybe we don't have some silk. Swap this to dyes. I don't think we have dyes in the market, though. Let's see if we can import from Russia with love. Can import the dyes from the British. Fair. This we can just build one ourselves or something like this. Where do we want to specialize in the silk? Maybe in the new capital, which can produce it. Just a little beep. One of these. We'll put it on auto expand, and this will be our specialty here. Okay, you're demanding that we become a protectorate. We're gonna decline. Politician dies. Armed forces. What do we got now? Got a traditionalist. Really hoping the Liberal Party manages to take it next time. I'd like to open up the borders a bit. Yeah, maybe going landed voting so early was not the play, because now we just have this big power block of conservatives that we can't make a mixed government that can let us push through some reforms. So I think we actually made a bit of a mistake there. Seemed good at the time. But maybe it just doesn't matter, and we're just going to construct through it, you know? We, of course, are just eating this. You have to do this number plus this number, so we're actually only making like 2k or whatever. And now that we finished that building, these are super profitable. We can't. Oh, we can switch to pig iron tools. It's going to use 80 of this, so we're probably going to need some more of these actually. These will employ pretty quick here. Oh, 80 is enough. Alright. We're going to do this and just rearrange some of this. With the steel tools, we'll make a lot more tools. We can swap over these. How are these profitable? That's wild. Labor's super cheap, and somehow those are profitable, but okay. Let's take a look at when the truce is up. 47. So we will be rewinding the military back up shortly. Actually, let's do it now, so we don't forget. And we won't wind up the conscription centers. We, of course, will need to import these goods now. I'm going to try and get them from Russia if we can. And I think I'm going to call it an episode. This episode, we have done our starting steps video where we have taken a little bit of land. We took Hale and 2 provinces off of the Kebab. And this strategy, I think, is really, really important for not having any fights in the Arabia strategic region early on until we kind of get our footing. Although this is kind of where we're going to be expanding next. And also, eventually, we do want to release from the Ottomans Iraq, because we want to puppet Iraq and then puppet the rest of these guys down here, and then we form Arabia. We do not need to conquer these guys. Puppeting is fine. Next episode, we will be looking to just start another fight with the Ottomans and then try and pick some spots. You know, maybe settle in and actually stay as an unrecognized regional power. It looks like we are one right now, so we can declare an interest in La Plata and finally get to colonizing a little bit, this sort of thing. We'll want to increase our institutions for this. But this is kind of where we're going to be going. Next episode, this start is a little volatile. I, generally speaking, will recommend that you... when you are starting out as Syria, you do save before each war, because stuff can go weird. I think you should try and buddy-buddy with Russia. If not Russia, Great Britain. If Great Britain doesn't like you, just be careful, because it will make expanding both in La Plata difficult, because they have the Falkland Islands, and also it will make it difficult to expand in Arabia, or just like anywhere really, because Great Britain has interests everywhere, so they are, if you're playing a small power, having them not like you is really, really bad, because they stick their finger in your pie. But yeah, we are, of course, doing the overall building tall strategy here, while trying to empower the Intelligentialists, which hopefully they can take next election. We'll see how that shakes out. But for now, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, have a good one, etc. Do the YouTube algorithm stuff, and bye-bye.